Hey everyone, this is Saito, and I have to say this, I was wrong. More than a month ago, I made a video where I talked about voice actors, and more in particular the voice actors in Genshin that have been going through a huge strike. That led to so many characters not having a voice in the story quest and in many other things, and this was because of the voice acting studios, which is Formosa Interactive, did not want to sign a contract that simply said that they won't use their voices to train AI, and yeah, that's it. Many people can understand this. Making a strike for this is very important, just like they did in Hollywood, because risking to lose your job to greedy companies, it's not good, it's a big no-no. So what happened in the end? Formosa kept not doing anything, so they just cut ties with Genshin. Genshin stopped using Formosa as their voice acting studio, so now they just have to go somewhere else. And most likely they will all go to the same voice acting studio that has Furina's voice actress, because the only characters that are in a different studio are Paimon and Furina. This explains why sometimes you can hear Paimon but not the other voices. So all of this was actually real, so what did I say that was wrong? I did say, like a week before the start of the version 5.2, that in the version 5.3 we would have seen the voice actors coming back. That's because I thought that it would speed up the process to be all ready for the version 5.3, because it was going to be a very huge version. And it will be, with Mavuika, Sirlali, the new Lantern Rite, all of that. So I thought that in like 50 days they would have been able to do that, but they weren't. This special program got released, but we did not even get to hear the localization team. Instead it was just a fully Chinese live, where the people talking were the Chinese devs, and the voices in the trailer were also all Chinese. So the only actual English thing were the subtitles, and that's it. I mean, sometimes this did happen, but this happens only when there is a huge update, for example, Sumeru or Fontaine. I know that the version 5.3 is huge, but maybe not as huge as a fucking new region. Now, I admit that I was wrong, because 50 days to do all of this is just insane. These procedures are incredibly long, and it will be insane to complete it in 50 days. They would all need to get outside of the studio, join another studio, record all of the voices. It would be crazy to do it in 50 days. So I thought that they might just do it because of the importance of the version 5.3. They might just speed up the process, but no, I was wrong, and I get why. However, that said, everything else happened. Like, they did change the company. Formosa is no more. Now they have another company, another studio that will not use AI, because they already signed the contract to not use AI, so now at least we are safe for that. The voice actors will be coming back, because now they don't have any reason to do a strike. They did win, they did change the studio, so now we will get the voices, but only once these procedures are over, because as I said before, these procedures take a lot of time. But I'm also sure that they're trying their best to be as quick as possible, because of just how much important Genshin is. The voices are incredibly important for Genshin, so having so much time without them might make some people angry. And because of just how much money circles around Genshin, their characters and their voices, I'm sure that they will do their best to just get their voices as soon as possible. But I did hear in the past of people saying that they had to like record their voices 6 months earlier in order to get them. So all of this voice acting stuff takes so much time to complete, so it's normal that they might take more than 50 days. I was wrong when I said that we might get them in the version 5.3, but I'm not wrong when I say that we will get them in the future, because now the strike is over. At least the voice actors are safe, we don't have to worry about that anymore. They got their rights about AI respected, now they don't have to fear that anymore. They got away from Formosa, which is a studio that did not pay Paimon for like 6 months, so that's very good. Now the only thing left is to wait until they're all settled and ready to voice act again, just in another studio with more normal people. That said, I would also like to talk about another new voice acting drama that has been going through Hoyoverse, because they can't just get away from this. I swear to god, having voice acting issues for them is like a fucking drug, they can't stay away from it. So what happened? This time it happened on Zenless 1.0 or CCC, where we got a whopping 8 characters not being voiced. They did have some voices, even though they are not like main characters in the story, so they consider them less important, even though many of them are like fan favorites, like the Fury one. I heard many people praising him, I think he's pretty famous there. I feel like the whole Fury community likes him anyway, so him and 7 other characters did not have a voice this time, for the same reason as those 6 other Star Rail characters, which are scheduling issues. So again, in the span of like 2 weeks, we now have 14 characters not being voiced. And to be honest, this feels completely crazy. Like, this is actually insane. Why does this keep happening? It's like they can't really keep up with all of this stuff. They really just can't handle all of these voices, I guess. Like, it's been so much time since I've seen a version without all of these voice acting problems. And also, Zenless 1.0 is not even like a very old game, it's a pretty new one. It got released this year, it got released not too much time ago, and it already has so many problems regarding voice acting. For example, I also remember that they did change some voice actors. Like, they did change the voice actors of the Blue Girl, but once again, it was another English voice actors. Because all of these voices not always being present are always English for some reason. Maybe it's because the company is Chinese, so it's much easier for them to get the Chinese voices, the Japanese voices, the Korean voices much faster. But still, they're very important games. They're like the most important games in the gacha genre. So liking all of these voices is very unprofessional, and also it makes no no sense. They constantly keep changing voice actors, for example Fugue or Tingyun, like it's the same thing. Like here, the biggest problem is not even Genshin, because Genshin had a meaning. Genshin does not have voices because of a strike that was rightfully made so. But with ZZZ and Starrel, it's just scheduling issues, they just can't keep up with this. And once again, Wuthering Waves has never had any of these problems. The game is older than ZZZ, but it has never had any of these problems. And also the voice acting studio in ZZZ has already signed the contract against AI, so it's not a problem that is connected to that. Now I heard so many people just saying, yeah, I'm gonna stop listening to the dub, I'm just gonna play like the game in Chinese or Korean or whatever, and I completely get why now, because it's crazy how common this is, just how many problems they have with voice actors, that it's not reliable, that you don't know if you will hear your character. It's honestly crazy how fragile all of this looks, that you might not hear a character for a whole version, or even two, you never know. I guess just playing in Japanese is a bit better, I suppose. I mean, I do play WoW in Japanese because I don't really like the dub, but at least the dub works. At least you can choose whether to listen to English or something else. With these games there is not even a dub, it's just silence. So in the end I feel like we might get the voice actors in the version of 5.4, because maybe after like 3 months they will try their best to just get the voices on the game, considering just how important the game is. So I'm already sure that even for now they are trying their best to speed this process up as soon as possible, so maybe it's likely that we might get them in the version of 5.4. And I hope that the other games of Hoyoverse will improve this thing about voice acting, because it's so silly to get all of these problems when you are such a big company. And that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!